We're on the sidelines of the OECD's 2016 Integrity Forum. I'm joined now by Sergio Mujica, Deputy Secretary General at the World Customs Organization. Sergio, thank you for talking with us. I want to start by quoting the former head of the WCO. He said, "There are few public agencies in which the classic preconditions for institutional corruption are so conveniently presented as in a customs administration." You've got your work cut out for you. How well are you doing?
Well, it is true. There are risks associated with corruption and customs because of a number of factors, but I think we are doing a lot to combat corruption. We require to have a solid political will. This is not only a customs problem. There are many other government agencies and are out there at the border and fighting against corruption as well. So we need to embrace this corporate approach. And second thing we need to do is to invest a lot on capacity building. So please let me tell you that it's worth to invest to strengthen customs.
Yeah. What? Just a bigger picture. What impact has anti-corruption and bribery regulation, do you think, had on global trade corruption specifically, and will include the customs piece in there as well?
Well, I think it's indispensable to have good regulations to deal with corruption. That coin has two sides. One side is to have credible sanctions and penalties, and the other one relates to incentives, having the right incentives to allow people or custom officers willing to comply with regulation to do it.
You know I've got to ask you this, and it's a tough one, but any particular countries and industries particularly vulnerable that you would pinpoint or highlight right now?
No, I wouldn't mention one in particular, but there is, of course, some areas where there is a higher risk of corruption that relates to poverty, as we know, that also relates to informal trade, that also relates to lack of appropriate regulation.
Are you optimistic generally about the way in which this is all moving? We've just done a panel with the Commissioner, with several other representatives, someone from the World Trade Organization. I was trying to gauge how optimistic everyone was.
I am optimistic, though I know there is a lot more to do. But I'm optimistic because I think that there has been a lot of awareness raising at this moment. So we know there is a problem and everybody's working towards and to solving that problem. And I'm also optimistic because I think there are a lot of instruments and tools out there, and we have been able to identify some best practices and some success stories. So it's not all bad news. There are also some good news we have to share with everybody.
And let's talk about good coming from bad to finish up with the Panama Papers and everything that happened on that front. A lot of the discussion has been about that as the context, that helping put a focus on these issues, telling everyone basically that a lot more needs to be done.
Well, I think the key message there is that nobody's free from corruption. We need to mobilize the world to fight against corruption.
But is that going to happen? Is that more likely to happen now in light of that and in light of this coming to light?
I think it's good news on the overall because it highlights the problem we have, and I think it mobilized the world towards a better framework to fight against corruption. And there also a need to improve the exchange of information. Tax has been doing a lot on that, but at Customs I think we have more to do.
Sergio, thank you very much indeed. Sergio Mujica from the WCO. I'm Axel Threlfall, this is Reuters.